Attention gamers, let's play a quick game of what happens when you ping Rav's runes before the game even starts. If you guessed, a mob of Rav's angry Eskimos charges in as he simply walks away and lets them ravage your anus, then drops a remark that karma's a bitch. Then you were right. Here's a picture of my dog as your reward. But later the same Lee admitted he was wrong and said that his uneducated barefooted ass was just reacting based off of the guides and tier lists that he jerks off to at night. So I decided to check out one of the tier lists myself. This win shitter is S tier in literally every damn role. Big surprise there. Then we got the right click to win British Bombshell and Miss Perky Tits. Again, no surprise. But if I scrolled way down to see who is crying in a corner all by themselves, I see this lonely bird bitch. D tier, really? So you are telling me that an ADC that can just decide when they aren't in the mood to get hit by Aphelios' ult is D tier? Or that an ADC that can play a game of fetch my feathers and stun an entire pile of shitters to turn around a team fight all with a move whose icon looks like a man ejaculating feathers from his body is D tier? No. Which is why Math Rav embarked on a journey to prove Xayah still rocks a massive quill cock and that anyone who talks some pregame shit on a champion or rune choice before a game even starts will eventually get what's coming to them. So before we get to the part where I plume punch a bunch of pissheads, if you are new to the channel and like the effort that I put into making sure everyone has a damn good time watching these videos, please kindly slap the shit out of that subscribe button. So I had to ignore the data from the first game because it turns out that my foxy mid laner with all 9 of her failed tales and my Pantheon jungler were in the same book club and they must have just finished a new book called How to Feed the Shit Out of the Enemy Hyper Carry and wanted to act on what they learned, so basically my experience in this first game boiled down to fights that looked like this. But I do want the record to show that there were 2 legitimate 1v1s with this Fed Nancy of a one-shot machine, and in the first one I showed that she may be the queen bitch of the Rift this game, but I can still shit on her in a game of hide and seek, which gave my teammates a brief moment of joy to distract us from the fact that she was methodically inverting our wieners on repeat for the rest of the game. The other encounter took place in the forest, and even though my ult and summoners dropped faster than my mother's undies on the night of my conception, I still prevailed over the half-health lunar raid boss in a fight. Unfortunately my team's anuses just got a bit too raw as they gave into the torture, and so my mission to prove that bird shit is better than D tier would have to start in game 2. Okay, let's talk about the runes I took on Feather Tits. Lethal tempo for that quick hit of cocaine when you start playing patty cake with another champion so that you can quill cuck them with your E faster. Triumph to help with the butt clenching fights that come down to the wire. Bloodline to keep those titties topped off, and coup de grace to make you a bursty bird against the weak ones. Most guides recommend you go pussy inspiration for your off tree so that you can get the free Nikes and biscuits, but I'm no bitch, so I went sorcery for 2 runes that just give me those girth gains to the carry cock you'll be rocking on this D tier crow. The game starts out with me and my vampire bride supporting me against that cocky axe juggler and his fat pet bull who was playing with himself in the cove for the first 3 minutes of the game until Morg binds Tyler 1 and spills some purple drink on his shoes. Then I come in to toss some feathers at him before I promptly change my mind and ask for them back to take the kill. The mall cop with swollen hands tries to salvage the situation but just gets tied up in a puddle of Morg's piss. Luckily for her I have the dexterity of a doorknob and don't level up my W, which would have clearly sent the bitch back to the food court, and she gets away this time. Back at lane and the obese goat decides to headbutt a rock to send my Morg flying. She bubble wraps herself then stuns Draven as his support decides his time is better spent attacking our minions as we team up on the axe thrower and steal some gold. I am just chilling in lane taking morning attendance of my hooded midget employees when my support is feeling ambitious, so she runs up and purple dranks the juggler. I catch up and stick some feathers on him and then ask for them back to glue gun the bitch and take him down. Then I tickle the hobbling bison a few times as he runs back to safety. There's a boxing match between the mall cop and a dragon going on, so I run up to cast my bets on dragon when the upright goat intercepts me and Morgan asks us to jump. I ult because I don't feel like getting dashy punched, and then I collect my feathers to lay out some burst for the boys before flashing to take down the floating static shitter. We are just vandalizing this tower, and since I still have the map awareness of a water balloon I don't see Miss Swollen Hands coming down to steal our lunch money. We start running away in what seems like a hopeless situation until one of the midgets starts beaming the sky as Morg bubble wraps me for the fight. Everyone whips out their chains collection like we are at some convention before I plume punch the bi in her cooter. The fat ox summons his dead grandfather's spirit, but I sidestep that hoe with ease, and then Morg Crystal cucks him for me to do a quick quill bang for the kill. Then Draven has the brilliant idea to just die, so he decisively jerks off his W key to completion in his final moments alive. We catch the horny goat and his hammer in the forest, and I toss some feathers at the sped shitter. His grandfather's spirit gets summoned just in time to witness the heir of their sad bovine throne get shafted. The mall cop is trying to take a piss in the bushes, but her hands are too swollen to unzip her pants, so she says fuck it and gets ready to dash out, only to get put in the crystal cuckold and then quill banged by a quick combo. They promptly surrender at 20 minutes to the power of this legendary D-tiered ADC, and I now have my first data point to prove that the author of tierlist.gg sits while he pees like a little beta girl. As Game 3 starts out in lane, I want to take a moment to appreciate how awkward this situation was from a lore standpoint. We have President Obama over there, then we have his wife, also we can't forget about the flaming noodle head that locked her up in his cum bucket for all those years. Turns out Obama and Thresh are boys now and agree that Obama's wife is just a bitch, so they have teamed up to try and put her back in Thresh's lantern, and then there's Bird Rav over here trying not to be awkward about the whole thing. Anyway, Senna stuns Lantern Larry and I start spreading feathers on the ground to break the tension. Obama comes down to abuse his wife, but the two supports end up lighting each other on fire and both dying to the ignites. I chase Obama away so that he doesn't see me miss the last hit on that minion, and the lane trade is even. Me and Senna are drawing finger chickens with chalk on their tower when she tells High Noon Obama that she's sleeping with Rakan, causing him to charge at her in a drunk rage until I put these feathers to use to stop the domestic abuse. Obama's wife is giving the beat down on her man until Lantern Larry reveals that he was creeping like a pervert the whole time. He scrapes the ground and then flees as I quill bang him a few times until Senna goes full blown Back to the Future on his ass for the kill. Then I start spreading pretty feathers on the ground to set up a romantic scene for the fighting couple until High Noon Obama walks into the danger zone and I play a game of Psych You're a Dead Bitch Now. The whole gang is down here to have an intervention with Thresh to hopefully get him to stop lighting his hair on fire when the blind kickboxer does a dashy drop kick to take him down before Obama's wife shows her ex that even the tower is tapping dat ass since they broke up. Then we start smacking the tower until the man himself shows up just in time to get caged and bursted by a blonde in her grade school pajamas before he runs off. We finish off the tower and then Deadpool comes running down to X mark the spot on my blind Baldy. The ninja gets dropped kicked and then ports back out of danger into danger just in time for me to nab the kill. We are shaking our spray cans and getting ready to vandalize this tower when Lantern Larry comes in to see what we are up to. Obama's wife roots the skeleton and then Lux plays follow the leader with another root, and then we take a group poop on his bony corpse. I make a quick visit up top to see if this bitch's fencing lessons were paying off, but it turns out they weren't because she just sits down in a crystal cage and lets me stuff my dry feathers down her throat. This game 2 results in the team unanimously deciding to go to Hooters right at the 20-minute mark, and this bird now has earned herself 2 back-to-back 20-minute forfeits as a result of these feathers. And just for some completeness, here were some of my attempts at shutting down the book club meeting in the first game. After having fed 3 kills to Diana, Pantheon decided to come down for a little pep talk from your boy Rav. I threw some feathers at Skelly Boy in the bush, and Panth focused all his effort into chasing their goth ball ADC just to cast 0 abilities on him as I molested Lantern Larry. Obama's wife sends a nudie to Thresh in the bushes, and then he sends one back, and like a baby buffoon that still doesn't know what the hell Aphelios does, I stack up for Billy Joe Armstrong to wombo us. I then take off into the sky to feather fuck the 2 of them as Senna goes back to the future and take down Skinny Jeans. Thresh hooks me down and then flashes away like a pussy. Midway through the game, Thresh lands a hook on our pigtailed midget and makes the intelligent decision to ride that bad boy into a world of pain. Then I finish off the goth ball after Baby Thor pinned his ass to the wall for me. We managed to have one good team fight because their Diana had been fed so much that she had to AFK to shit it all out, and so I took advantage by feather dicking 4 of them, and me and the Breakfast Club actually took 1-1 home this game. Unfortunately, after she was done wiping, my team tried to do it again, but this time they failed to take into account where legendary Lisa was as she came stalking and trying to tap me from the back. I decided to keep my beehole from being penetrated and simply ran down to safety to keep my dignity as my team decided that the book club meeting was over tonight. Huge shout out to all the naked Eskimos in this igloo. In my last video I mentioned that we broke 10k subscribers and not even a few hours later we were at 20k, I am editing this at 25k, so who knows where we will be by the time you see it. If I haven't gotten to your comments, don't worry, I will eat so much damn cheese tomorrow so that I am on the shitter long enough to get to the thousands of comments that you have left me. Let's keep rolling this giant ass snowball, guys. Pet your dog, jerk your ween and brush your teeth tonight. Rav out.